All right, we are at the top of the hour. Did you want to give a buzz over to someone over at Congresswoman Captor's office too? Or should we?
Yes, ma'am.
There she is. She's coming on. You should probably, you should.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
Okay. I'll sit here and listen.
Well, we'll get started when you say go, Miss Megan.
Once again, welcome everybody. We are so happy to put this together. It's going to allow us to reach people today as well as in the future. We have programs coming up for career development, workforce development, and they'll be able to also see this in the future. So just so happy to have you here and thank you for joining us.
Wonderful. We have some young people joining us. It's good to see that.
Hello. Ooh, this is bright.
Hello, Congresswoman. It's such a blessing to have you with us. How are you?
I would say the same. I would say the same. Great to see you, Alicia. This is a real honor. Who do you have with you?
Oh my goodness, we have a host of amazing young people and wonderful partners throughout our wonderful city of Toledo. Our coordinator, Ms. Megan Powell. Megan, do you mind running down the list of individuals who will be with us today?
My connection went out for 1 second. What was your question?
Just wanted to run down the list for Congresswoman of our amazing partners such as Goodwill and others. But I know you have the pleasure to do that for her. So if you would just.
So today we have on, here's our schedule. We're gonna have our introduction, a small amount of time for question and answer after Congresswoman Captor and Miss Alicia speak. After that, we're gonna have Miss Kendra from Metro Parks, Miss Michelle from the McLear Group, Miss Tisha from the Goodwill, Staff Sergeant Bain of the Marines, Miss LaShawna from the City of Toledo, Miss Delisha from the Vibrant Vegan Food Truck, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan. So, Congresswoman, we have a host of amazing partners throughout the city that are talking to our young people about workforce development, which is one of your amazing passions, one of many that you have constantly invoked that information to me, Alicia. Make sure that our young people understand that they can work in our wonderful city, in our amazing state, that there's no need to have brain drain where our young people are leaving their homes and going out into different places. You have been wonderful, Congresswoman, in not only being our longest serving woman in the US House, but also being an advocate for our community, ensuring that our children know that they have a place in government. So it is a blessing and an honor to have you not only be a native Toledoan and someone who has been a mentor for myself and so many amazing young women that are coming up, but also an advocate for workforce development, technology, and education for our amazing servers of our United States armed forces, and also for the amazing work that has happened in all of our environmental work. So our sector today is environmental, private sector, public sector. We are talking about workforce development. We have an aging workforce, we have an aging infrastructure, and we have young people that we can put to work, that we can create an opportunity to grow a better Toledo, a better America. So with that being said, I am so honored and privileged to introduce to all of you the most amazing woman that I know, right? Our wonderful, amazing Congresswoman, Marcy Kaptur. Thank you for being with us, Congresswoman. Please.
Well, you know, Alicia, I would just say to every person on the call today that you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
And the young people whose lives you touch, not just your own family, but far beyond your own family, to help people get up the ladder, wherever they're headed, and to know themselves and to know their talents. It's just a pleasure to be with you today and to show your perseverance. Anything in life worth the effort takes a lot of perseverance. And so that's one thing, you have to go in for the long haul, whatever
Yes.
that might mean. And it takes a while, usually in your 20s, before you kind of figure out where are you headed. And you only know that by the people that you get to meet and the places that you experience, right? So when I was in my, no one in our family had ever gone to college in our family. In fact, no one had graduated from high school. So I was the first generation to actually become educated. And I could have easily become a doctor, but things happened in my lifetime back when I was growing up to our country that were stunning, and they changed my life. And I went into public service never knowing that I would be elected. Okay, that really wasn't my goal. My goal was to rebuild my community, and I have found how hard that has been.
Yes.
And there were a lot of things that happened that are out of control of our community. But I would say at your age, first of all, read a lot. Reading's the most important subject, and there's plenty of material out there. Our Toledo Lucas County Library is among the finest in the country, in the world, really. And I would make a point to stop by there, to use their resources. And every person is drawn to something. I think if you're meant to be a mechanic, you know it by age 2. They're the kids that always take everything apart, and they're just fascinated with making. And uh, you can sort of tell if they're involved in the arts. You can see if they are good with people. Some are more, they're not as comfortable with people. They sit in the back row. They don't sit in the front row. But a lot of times those are your good thinkers. They're people who might be great teachers in the future. But you know, when you're 18 years old, 15 years old, you're just starting out. You're just trying to figure out where your talents are. And that's one of the, I always say to people, don't do what somebody tells you. Go to that which you are drawn to, for even reasons you can't completely explain, but you're good at it. And whatever your first job is, your first jobs, a lot of times, I mean, I didn't really like my first jobs very well, but I ended up working during my high school years to earn money for college at the Toledo Lucas County Library System. And I really liked that. It was right in my neighborhood. And I was kind of a bookish person. I liked to read and all. And then the people were so friendly. And so that was something that I did. I worked in factories. I delivered mail. I did all kinds of things to make money. And because we didn't have a lot of money and I had to go to school on a partial scholarship. So it was hard. It wasn't easy. And I worked during school. I worked during summers. I always had a job. And I was glad to have that experience because it adds up over time and you meet people. And in the business I'm in now, where I have to represent people, understanding their lives is so important to me. And I'm trained. My first degree was as a city planner because I went to school during an era where Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and many other people who helped him were changing the laws of our country to make it possible for all of America's people to succeed. And really, your generation, Alicia's generation, and your generation that follows are the first people to actually be able to break through generations of um, uh, I would say, neglect and exploitation. When I used to deliver mail in Toledo, I delivered out of Station C at Doran Mead. And because I probably was the only woman in those days, I never even paid any attention, but they gave me the worst routes. So I had to go from Dorr Street to Bancroft, down all those long streets, delivering mail with heavy magazines. That bag was so heavy. And but there was one structure I used to go to, and they would get more mail than anybody. And I couldn't understand. I said to my dad, Dad, what is that? And because there's all these hand addressed envelopes and all. And my dad goes, Don't you know what that is? I said, No. He said, Honey, that's a loan shark. I said, A loan shark? That building still stands on Dorr Street. And what I learned was that the African American community, much later in life, I understood that there was no normal banking in that neighborhood, that people were being charged interest rates that were extraordinarily high. And if they went to buy a car or a washing machine or whatever, they were charged horrible interest rates. There were no banks, there was no regular financing. So today, if you look at the corner of Detroit and Dorr, there's now a federal urban credit union. And that's to the credit of people in our community who have worked now for over 2 decades to create fair credit in the heart of our city. That is the first time in the history of this city that that's ever happened. And I'm working very hard and encouraging people to branch that into other neighborhoods where credit is needed, or even into housing structures where people do not have normal credit. And why is that important? Because people get ripped off. They get ripped off if they try to cash their check, or they try to get a loan and they're charged by these loan sharks. Now they got fancy names. They call them payday lenders and auto title and all that. You can lose your shirt. You can lose everything because people don't understand what they're signing. So that's been a big accomplishment for the individuals who've been involved in founding that credit union and bringing fair credit to our community. But the African American community has struggled more. And I want to mention while Alicia's on the phone that the new infrastructure bill, which is a law that Congress passed that'll bring money in here into our area, there's funding in there for neighborhoods that have been neglected or were divided by highways and expressways. Like if you go to Monroe and Detroit, right up in there by the old Swain Field, right in there, you'll see that a lot of neighborhoods were just obliterated from the urban renewal programs of prior generations. There's money in the infrastructure bill to fix that, and you have to apply for it. We're working with a group down around Nebraska and Erie Street, right down in there where you kind of go down into the south end where the African American community and the Latino community kind of meet. Okay, that area too got a big expressway right through it, and it just obliterated neighborhoods and all. But there's money in the infrastructure bill to kind of heal, to the extent we can, some of these wounds as these expressways wound through the city. In Lorain, Ohio, which I represent, the roadway went right through the heart of the Latino business community. They were wiped out.
Yes.
And so I just mentioned that because it was on my mind. So in the African American community, we have to have rebuilding, restoration, and we're working right now on the historical museums, trying to get them some additional funds in order to be able to do everything to celebrate the jazz traditions of our area, as well as the African American traditions. And there are activists, who are working on that in the community. So I would say get to know your community well, get to know its institutions, and get different jobs, try different things, see what you like, see what you're drawn to. We had a group of young people, and I'll be real short here, and that came in from AmeriCorps. They were just here about a week ago working with Habitat for Humanity, and they're going to be in our community for a couple weeks now. I encouraged everyone to think about joining an organization like AmeriCorps. Let it take you around the country in your early years. You got a lot of energy and you want to travel, you want to learn new things. And that's a good way to earn a little bit of money and to be with young people from around the country. It's a growth experience, just like being in the military. It'll take you out of your comfort zone and you'll meet people from everywhere and you will grow through that experience. Those are some of the things I think that you can do, and not be afraid to work hard. I used to work at holiday times, I would work in homes of very wealthy people, serving meals and working in the kitchen, trying to find jobs to support myself and to save money for school. So work is a very noble enterprise, and there's always plenty to do. By the way, Alicia, you might try also. The First Solar Company is interviewing. They're going to hire 700 more people. The problem is it's located out in Perrysburg, so you'd have to have everybody on the same shift, and they'd all have to go together and come back or something like that.
Yeah.
But they've been screening. They're looking to hire about 700 more people.
And Congresswoman, I want to say thank you to you for mentioning some of those sectors that many times we forget, the innovative sectors of energy and solar energy. And our young people are innovative thinkers in gaming and all of the different things that are coming up in some of our conversations. Last that we were together, you talked about Wi-Fi and having installers. And so young people, as our Congresswoman is sharing with you, there are opportunities as we have 20% of our current workforce is reaching retirement age. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to hear from all of the different partners that are on today. As we hear about the infrastructure bill that is going into play, that is because our infrastructure has aged and we need the trades. Some of our funders for this JOY project, JOY is Jobs, Opportunities, and Youth. So Junction has this JOY project that our local 500 has provided funds for ProMedica has provided funds for, because we want you to learn the trades. We want you to get the training. And this is what our Congresswoman is saying to you and impressing upon you, that get the necessary skill set to be able to do the work, because there are a host of us that are right behind you and supporting. Congresswoman, did you want to have anything else to say before we started?
Well, just when you mentioned Local 500, they're working very hard to put a training center right on Nebraska near Bern.
Yes.
And I just hope they're able to be successful with that, because we really need people in the trades, particularly to rebuild housing. Habitat for Humanity, I hope your organization and these young people can maybe invite out Habitat for Humanity if you haven't worked with them, but they try to identify places to fix houses, to help people with weatherization and so forth. And they really need to, the young people in these communities have to learn those skills.
Yes.
There has to be a program for those that are interested in that, to help allow them to gain the skills to be able to do that. And ultimately someday, not just to work for a company, but to own a company that repairs housing.
And we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, Congresswoman. And we're going to Title II, our juvenile court and prevention and intervention. That's something that we're constantly talking about. We have Amanda on with us today as we talk about training where young people can put their hands on the skills. So thank you, Congresswoman, for being with us. Thank you for being, yes, for being such a wonderful, wonderful example of getting the job done. Thank you. So we want to move right into, and you're welcome to stay with us, but we know you're busy. So we are so very thankful at this very time to talk further about our environmental sector. And we have with us Kendra from Metro Parks, who's going to do a presentation on what is Metro Parks offering young people of color, young people of low socioeconomics, young people. What can we do at the Metro Parks? Ms. Kendra, are you with us?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Kendra Rising. I work with Metro Parks Toledo. Well, let me share my screen. Get this started. All right. So just bear with me. I'm new with this presenting stuff, so I'm a little nervous. But I'm happy to be here and thrilled to be here to share what we got going on with Metro Parks Toledo. So about Metro Parks, Metro Parks been around for a long time. And has rapidly grown a lot. We are one of the best park systems in America and is located right here in Toledo. So that's something to be really proud of. Our first 5 parks started in the 1930s during the Great Depression with only 1,000 acres of land. Today, Metro Parks has over 12,000 acres of land and 19 parks and still currently growing, which is really awesome. One of our goals was to have a park located within 5 miles to each resident of Lucas County. If you look at our map, if you look at our newest parks, they are located more in the inner city. In the past, our older parks are located farther in the more rural areas. So a lot of people in the inner city of, Toledo really don't know much about Metro Parks and what we have to offer. And what's the difference between a Metro Parks and a regular city park. Metro Parks is more, we promote on conservation and restoring the land and also enjoying nature and, promoting recreation and leisure at a park as well. I'm gonna share a little video. Hopefully it works. So fingers crossed. Oh wait, there we go.
So much can grow because of a park.
Wait, can everyone see that?
Trees and bees and streams and the lessons you learn from scraped knees.
Okay. Sorry, can everyone see it?
Yeah, you can see it. Thank you.
Flourishing beauty, bursting from the ground, water and air. Breathe it in. Through your nose, out your mouth. Slow. It shapes our memories. From our first time in a toddler swing, to the trail run with the high school team, to the colors of fall when the days grow shorter. But the potential for growth and the connections that are made because of parks are as deep as roots. Because when parks grow, so do your opportunities. When parks are valued, so is your home. When parks are healthy and thriving, so are entire communities. When parks are attractive for wildlife, the region attracts visitors. So while our work looks like fun, well, it is. But it's more than that. We're not just building tree houses and bike trails. We're cultivating a network of parks that is connecting people, open to all. A resource that has brought new life to Northwest Ohio. Because so much is growing, simply because of a park.
All right. That was just a short video showing why the parks is important and, if you want to work at the park, the benefits that you are doing for yourself and for your community as well. So I'm gonna talk about different jobs that we have at the Metro Parks. Since it's a huge park system, it's a huge variety of different jobs that we have to offer, or that you could do to serve the community. starting off as a program specialist, I guess I could talk about myself first. I am currently our DI specialist, which is a diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist. But starting out, I first was a outdoor skills programmer as a seasonal, and then was starting off in 2019, and then in 2020, I was our environmental education specialist as well. Before coming over to Metro Parks, a little history about myself. I am a Toledo native, a Scott Bulldog alumni. I went to school in South Carolina, a small HBCU called Benedict College, and I studied Parks and Recreation. It took a while for me to actually get in my field. Actually, it took almost 10 years. But in between time, like our Congresswoman said, I explored the AmeriCorps Vista position. I served 3 years as an AmeriCorps Vista. I did 1 year with United Way, another year with Habitat for Humanity, and the third year with Youth Build charter schools. So with that experience, I learned a lot with working in the community, and I realized that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just work just to work. I wanted to work and, work in something that I'm passionate about and helping others while I'm getting money or getting paid while doing it. So yes, I was very fortunate when I moved back to Toledo, that I got in with Metro Parks as a program specialist, and it's all up for there. But as a program specialist, you could be EE, which is environmental education, where you go out and teach the public or community about nature and its benefits. Also, outdoor skills is super fun. You do activities, you teach other activities to the community like archery, tree climbing, kayaking, canoeing, things like that. Also, our camp inclusion coordinators is under programming. And also we have a cultural experience positions where at one of our parks, Providence, out along the Maumee, where you basically live back in time, and we talk about historical things that happen on this land. Other jobs in natural resources is basically, it's like conservation and doing research about the land and seeing the benefits or non-benefits of different species. We have native species that are native to this land and help the soil. And we also have invasive species here that shouldn't be here, that, people came from other places and decided to plant it here, but it doesn't really grow well here. And it actually, hurts the native plants here, but we didn't know that back in the days. We just thought it was cute and, planted here. But natural resources do a lot of research on those type of things, and scientists work of that sort. So that's with natural resources. As a volunteer coordinator, like I said, it's a lot of different things that we have to do here at the park, especially with programming and also with natural resources. Since we have 12,000 acres of land, that's a lot of research to have to do. So if you are a volunteer and you specialize on natural resources, you wouldn't want to volunteer on a special event. You would want to be out in the field and do research. So as a volunteer coordinator, they coordinate with people who wants to serve their community, but figure out which ways they want to serve the community. So based off of your passion, you are still able to serve and help your community out. And you'll also be surprised on how many people who come from different backgrounds, corporate backgrounds, who, have so much education with nature, but they don't have the time to really, go out and experience it. So this is their way of getting out to do something that they like, even if their job is not exactly what they like to do. Sorry. Next, park services. Park services is basically like operations of the park. They make sure the park is going well, making sure we have our signs up, making sure the trails are safe and accessible for people to use, making sure trees are cut and out the way or preserved. So yeah, it's a lot entailed with like landscaping, ground maintenance, also mechanic, because they use a lot of machinery. So if you're a mechanic and know how to fix different machinery, that's great. Also, you will learn a lot of different machinery as well with park services. Then we have our park rangers. Basically our park rangers jobs is policing and protecting, securing the parks, making sure that the people are safe, the plants and the animals and everyone's safe and following the rules. Yeah, basically it just making sure everyone is safe in the parks and outside of parks and making sure everyone is feeling welcome. They are certified policemen and go through the training, so they are legit.
Wonderful. Well, I know that there's so much that is going on at our metro parks. And thank you so much, Kendra. Young people, the metro parks are always hiring. It's a great opportunity with the livable wage. Reach out to Ms. Kendra at the end of our session. We will have contact information. You can go, and as you heard her talk about the wonderful experiences that she has had doing the work. And I saw archery it's something that is so fun. So you can experience it, do that, and enjoy being in the great outdoors. And we have wonderful metro parks in our area. So thank you so much, Ms. Kendra. We're going to move right over to manufacturing.
Alicia, could I interrupt you just for a second? It's Marcy. I forgot
Yes,
to
you can
mention
interrupt.
something important, okay, as I listen to Kendra. For federal jobs, the website is the Office of Personnel Management. So when Kendra was talking about the metro parks, the map she showed also had huge wildlife refuges on the east side of the river, all along the lake. Those are federal jobs
Okay.
with the U.S. U.S. Park Service, which is part of the Department of Interior. But if you go to the website of the Office of Personnel Management, which is a federal website, they have all the jobs in the federal government, whether it's jobs as park rangers in the on federal property, also air controllers for like out at our airport, if you're interested in air flight. And we have a tremendous program at the Toledo Public School System now to teach young people how to be mechanics on airplanes. It's overbooked. They don't have enough room for all the students that are
Wow.
applying.
Wow.
We have transportation security. Like when you go through the airport, there's these people, who are like the police at the airport. Well, they're federal employees working for transportation security. The forest fires, the people that fight forest fires. I saw the fires on there. Oh, that reminds me, U.S. Forest Service, they send people all over the country. And you mentioned also the area of energy and all of our energy installations, all of our water. Like if you go up to the Army Corps of Engineers, if you get in the military, they'll send you all over. Or if you join the Coast Guard for the Great Lakes is headquartered in Cleveland, but they send all these people all around the Great Lakes and all around the country. And a lot of people forget about those parts of the federal government that are here. You can go over to Ottawa County, you'll see Border Patrol. They're the people that are looking for all the drug dealers and all, right?
Right.
So we have, those are all federal jobs. So you go to the Office of Personnel Management, you'll spend 5 days just looking at all the jobs in all the different federal departments, but it's the Office of Personnel Management. I forgot to mention that. And thank you, Kendra, for reminding me.
Well, Congresswoman, our amazing educational coordinator, Megan Powell, has entered that link into our chat box. So young people, that link that our Congresswoman was just talking to you about in federal employment is right there. Most of those jobs start at about the age of 18 to 21. And you can go right in. As she said, you'll spend time doing some research. And Junction is here to help you. Do not feel overwhelmed. If there's something that you need to have some assistance to walk through the process, community education is about us coming to this point together. And we have great partnerships with the University of Toledo and Bowling Green State University, where we can have students come and walk you through that process, helping you to become ready and acclimated to what it means to get your resume, CV, and your applications done. So thank you, Congresswoman. That was a great resource. We are going to go over to the McAleer group with Miss Michelle Toplin. We are so very thankful to have her with us. Let's find out what happens in manufacturing. We know so many of our loved ones have served in manufacturing areas of our powertrain, Dana, all of these different areas. Let's hear what Miss Michelle has prepared for us. Michelle?
Oh, of course, I prepared some good stuff. So basically, what I prepared is I love to brag about our company, the McAleer Group, and what we do. So we are a leading garage door springs manufacturer. Can you guys see my screen? You're seeing the screen? Okay, good.
Yes.
And it tells you everything right here. Fourth generation, family owned. We're coming up on 60 years. If that doesn't say it all, the owner of our company is in his mid 30s, which is something to brag about, right? He is doing a fabulous job moving us forward. We're just evolving on a nonstop basis. And I am the recruiter for the McAleer Group. So I'm very excited to share that we've taken such a different approach with reaching out to our community partners, our nonprofit friends, Goodwill, Ohio to Work. We've been working with NOAA, TPS, Miss Captor, TPS with their manufacturing program. We with Springfield High School. I can't even think of them all. We have two students from Springfield High School right now that are actually working in the plant that went through the manufacturing program, and I met the individuals through the NOMA program. So just NOMA, Northwest Ohio Manufacturing Alliance, in case anybody doesn't know what that means. So, but we have opportunity. One of the things that we're doing now is giving individuals the opportunity to advance. So not only are you getting a job with a competitive wage at the McAleer Group, which is actually Service Spring. So Service Spring Corp is a McAleer group company. So do you understand that's our parent company? And we actually have three companies underneath that. The main focus right now is, of course, Service Spring Corporation. So I always tell everybody, think about that garage door, that largest moving part on your house. And we're the ones helping you operate that garage door. So, and all the individuals out in our plant, of course, that are doing a stand-up job, keeping all that going on. So the full benefits, including health, vision, dental, life insurance. You have to be 18 to join our group, but we do focus on the youth. And why would we do that? Because we want them to grow with our company. We're looking for that. I mean, if you remember back in the day, our parents started out at a company, they retired out of that company. And this is what we need to bring back. We need to bring this back and let these individuals come in at 18, 19 years old, grow with our company, advance in our company, and become those experts of our company, right? And what we do. So let me flip the page a little bit. One more here. Hopefully I didn't lose it. I think I might have. Oh, wait. I think I can just hit the move button and do it. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, so we're looking for second and third shift production associates. And of course, we're looking for that great talent and enthusiasm. We are very, very family oriented. And that's one of the things that I think really is a seller with us. We've had individuals that, they come in, they start out working, things are going great. Maybe they had some type of financial crisis, and we've actually worked with them, even taken them back down to part-time to work with them until they were able to move back up to full-time until they had their family situation worked out. We start at $16 an hour. There's shift premiums. For second shift, we offer $16.75. For third shift, we offer 17. Within 90 days, you're moving up $1. And 6 months after that, as long as you're that A team player, you're moving up another $1. And then, of course, right now, here's my biggest brag moment. I thought as a recruiter, because I am new to the recruiting, okay, but I thought as a recruiter, I was almost had my all my people filled. Oh my gosh, all of our spots are almost filled. My second, third shift, I am rocking it, right? Then I go back into work and they send me the numbers, and I'm like, why are there so many people that we need again? You know why? They're moving up to team leaders. So they are actually in leadership classes right now, going through a 6-week leadership class, earning more income to do that, moving up in our company. And now we're bringing in another group that will do the same. This is incredible in my eyes. I mean, it's just incredible. We are working to bring in other programs. I am currently working with some banking institutions, bringing in some great ideas, Miss Capter, around that financial coaching and um, trying to help people stay away from those payday lenders. Educate, educate, educate is all I can say about that. I have 13 years of financial coaching in my background. So I'm a little bit different as far as a recruiter goes. I have a unique style as to how I do things. And I think Tisha, that's on the line here, can let you know that we do hire individuals from the community because I've worked with her quite well. And Goodwill has been an amazing partner for us. We are actually working with Goodwill Good Rides to get a second shift van up and running if we can never get enough people on that van to do that. So we'll have transportation, and then we all know transportation is an issue. We're working with Salvation Army ARC program, Ohio to Work, just great, great partners. If you have any individuals that want to apply, they don't have to be, they don't have to have a high school diploma as long as they're working on getting their high school diploma. We will take them, but they do have to be 18 years old. And they can go right here on this job site, jobs.sscorp.com, to apply. And that's why I brought in the slides so you guys would have a little bit easier access if you wanted to share later on. And the one thing that we just did too is we're working Monday through Friday work week with occasional overtime on the weekends. We don't have a lot of mandatory overtime, but when we do, it's because we have to get that poundage out for what our needs are. But that's one of the pluses. I think a lot of people like working for us because it is Monday through Friday, and we're not forcing people to work 60, 70 hours a week. You're not dying by the end of the week. You still have the ability to have a life and a family life, and it really creates that great work-life balance.
Wow.
That's all I have.
Wonderful. Well, Michelle, if I wasn't already working, I think I'd be in line.
Well, come on over. It has been a really, really good, it's been a really exciting move for me. And like I said, just the recruiting and then just bringing in a lot of my nonprofit experience has
Yes.
been an amazing journey. Absolutely.
Yeah, Michelle, when I saw you, I was like, where do I know? It's the nonprofit world. It's so good
Absolutely.
to see you. See young people, you network, keeping those folks, those names, those folks, so that you can use that information later. Miss Michelle has been in our community for some time. Give
Yes.
a call, get the work. $1 raise for doing great work, amazing. And this is a livable wage. So thank you, Michelle, for being with us. Continue, young people, to reach out, get the information, take this information down right now, go get the bag, or secure the bag, as young people would say.
Right.
So we're going to move right along. And Congresswoman, feel free to interrupt me if you need to. Say, hey, Alicia, I know this, so you just let me know. We're going to move right over to our partners in Goodwill. And Miss Tisha has been an amazing partner, a great community advocate for young people. So Tisha, please share with us in regards to Goodwill.
All right, I'll try to get my little screen up here. Let's see if it'll actually work, because I'm in a place where the internet is a little shoddy. But if not, okay, hold on a second, bear with me.
No worries.
I can just stop it.
I know it's difficult. Was you eating? Lie to me again.
It is something. So I guess that's what I can do is I'll just talk and speak about what we got going on at the Goodwill.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I don't know why it's doing this, and now it won't let me stop sharing. Okay. Well, my name is Tisha Carroll, and I am the program manager of the Career Path program at the Goodwill at Goodwill. I'm also here to represent a few other departments because we hire for a lot of different things. As you have already heard Michelle speak, we also assist her with some recruitment. We send a good chunk of our clients in her direction, and we get so many compliments. They love working with her. One of the programs that we do, like I said, the Career Path program, what the goal is to get people into long-term situations as far as employment. So we do short-term certifications. Outside of that, we do have the Job Connection Center where we get employment situations for them. It might be quick hires. So for instance, McClare Group works with us very closely, and we can easily transition people into employment. And it might take less than a week to get into an interview through them. So I always shout them out. But within Goodwill, we have our retail stores, which are amazing. We have, you may want to become a cashier or a processor, or sometimes they're looking for management positions. One thing that I like about Goodwill, it gives you an opportunity to grow. Our CEO, she came from retail and she moved her way up the ladder. So when I hear that, it gives me like warmness. It gives me that warm and fuzzy feeling because we are a family. So we all work together really well. We also have employment coaches that we're hiring for. And I will leave that information, our phone number in the chat after I'm done speaking. We have custodial work through Goodwill. So depending on what you like to do, we'll try to find a path for you. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like Michelle also mentioned, we have good rides. So the goal is to eliminate some of the barriers to employment. We also assist individuals like getting their driver's licenses, their reinstatement fees paid for, or maybe they're struggling with the birth certificate. If we don't have the funding at the time, we will find organizations to assist. And we also are connected to the financial opportunity centers, which also assists with debt and credit repair, reaching some of those long-term, short-term financial goals. And so we do send a lot of our clients, once they do get employed, in that direction. But as far as employment, we have so many different connections. We have connections to Electroprime, DRS, sky's the limit. It just depends on what you want to do as far as employment, and we will find a way to get you connected.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tisha.
You're welcome.
A lot of times young people understanding what is the roadmap. And as you heard, there's a pathway. And so financial liberties come with financial responsibilities. So having those financial coaches help with that process. So thank you, Tisha. And she's going to put her information in the chat. Use this information, young people. This is your opportunity to connect and get the help that you need. We're going to move right from our private sector right into our military and our U.S. Armed Forces. We're thankful to have Ms. Megan as our educator coordinator. She has served in our military and has done a wonderful job. I don't want to go any further without thanking Ms. Kayla Preston, Ms. Security Jackson, and Ms. Malaysia Colton for all of the hard work that has been put in to do this work. But we want to bring our attention to those who have served us. It's not what can our country do for us, but what can we do for our country? And today we have from the Marines, the U.S. Marines, Sergeant Marco Garcia. Mr. Garcia, please, Sergeant Garcia.
No worries. Thank you very much. 1 second. So, what I've had a PowerPoint as well prepared for today, but in transfer it crashed. I'm actually happy it did, because listening to what was said today and taking some notes, I believe that wouldn't have been good for this conversation. So essentially, I've been in the Marine Corps for 16 years now. I graduated at Flint Central High School. I was born in Flint, Michigan, and essentially everyone there worked GM jobs. They worked mechanic jobs. They worked simple, hard labor jobs where every day, you know, I saw my dad. He works for CA Hall, freeway over infrastructure company. And he'd leave at 5 in the morning, come home around 6 at night, and he was just dog tired. So I was like, wow, this is what I got. So I graduated, and then I was like, well, let me go to work. And then I was a mechanic for about 2 years. I love working on cars, and I was like, this is not it. I found I was getting gypped off and getting ripped off, like you guys said, by what I thought were good supervisors, good role models for myself. And turned out I was wrong. So I had a good head on my shoulders, and I went to a talk to the military about, can I apply this into a career, into a future for myself? And lo and behold, I could. I ended up getting into aviation mechanics. I worked on aircraft engines, and now I do structures. Biggest thing I got out of it was the fact that it bridged so many barriers. How the congresswoman was saying, you know, I'm in college now. I'm using tuition assistance. I'm going through Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University out of Daytona, Florida. They cover all of my tuition. I'm working on a bachelor's degree in project management. The work experience I've gotten over my last 16 years is going towards an electronic resume that's called ASM for the military, where it calculates all of my hours, everything I've ever done. And when I do finally get out, I get in a nice compact CD, and I can hand that over to a job and say, here, this is everything I've done in my career. Can I apply this? And, you know, they tailor it to how they want to, and I can get a job position from there. Understanding people, that goes without saying, right? You have to work well with people in the military. You have to be able to communicate. You have to understand people are very different from all across this nation. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what that person's life was like before. You don't know what their day-to-day is. But the biggest thing is that you understand that that person is working alongside you for a common goal, common cause. And we really see that brotherhood we build, that camaraderie, that esprit de corps that we come to love about why the military lifestyle is something we value so much. It's something you'll never get unless you're doing it. Looking through here, as far as like breaking through neglect and breaking that chain of abuse, I got sent to go be a financial specialist. You know, believe it or not, they taught me how to help my junior Marines handle their finances. I got taught how to read their tax reports. I got taught how to help them invest. I got taught how to help them use S&I funds. It's something that you don't think. You think military, you think running and gunning, you think life and danger, but less than 1/3 of the jobs is combat related, while the rest are support roles where your ability to grow into a huge career is so much bigger. And that's really why I wanted to get to is this. I believe this talk is about building the community, and what people really don't understand is that you have a reserve option, just like the Ohio National Guard, where you work in your community, you help support the community, you are a person for your community. And I'm going to speak broadly, not just Marine Corps, but broadly, because Department of Defense is Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, and they all have a reserve element that stays here in your own backyard, where those skills that they get taught come back home to you. They have to go through all their training first. They have to be able to get all of their credentials, and then once they successfully complete that, they come home to you and they can apply it to your skill sets. Congresswoman, just like you said, I mean, trades are very big. The infrastructure is very big. We have what's called United States Military Apprenticeship Programs, where, like I said, my ASM log accounts for hours. That is United States recognized as an apprenticeship program, where I don't have to go through a tradesman program. I don't have to do an understudy. I show them my hours, what I've already got my accreditation. I go to a union, I show them my resume, and they take me on as an already accredited tradesman. I join a union just like that. It's amazing how well we can really support the community as a reserve unit, but also still say, you know, there's so much more we can offer. You know, I tell young people all the time, especially those that are like high school, college, then I get a good job, then I have a career. Well, if on the other hand, if you know yourself, if you're honest with yourself and college wasn't the route you wanted to go, and you're just gonna go straight to work, there's that other option where you can go do the military, be a reservist, where you get that same training, you get that same ability to have gone abroad, and you bring it all back. Go to that union where you said you want to work with your friends. Go to that local college that you wanted to go to with your friends. Be that person that's going to stand out and have that confidence to say, I have the ability to do this. I know I will do this. It's not what if I can, or if I have the opportunity. You make that opportunity. You really set yourself apart and say, I will do this. So what I wanted to show you guys, I'm going to try and share this. It's from my dash right here. It's DOD, the cool portal. It's just regular Google, nothing special about it. But once you go to it, you can really look at every military branch's jobs, and even reserve elements can use all of these jobs. It's not special military accredited. It's not anything crazy. All job forces are here. I work with the Marine Corps, so I know Marine Corps, so I'm gonna show you that one right quick. But the biggest thing about it, hopefully it loads quickly. I'm not trying to slow everything down. It's right here. So how to use this? So COOL stands for Credentials Online Learning. That's all it stands for. They try to make it fancy, but MOS is what's important, Military Occupation Specialty. You click on that little bubble, it drops down to every single job the military from the Marine Corps has to offer. And as you go down, you can look at all of those. I want to go real quick to here real quick. I'm an aviation mechanic, like I said. I'm a 6092 aircraft mechanic. I'm going to click next. I just want to show you something right quick. It tells you everything about that job, the specific details of it, credentials, related occupations, continuing education, and any other information that can be transferred into a civilian job. I mean, credentials, you're going to have civilian side, state licenses, apprenticeships, occupations, you're going to have civilian, working for the government, federal, career considerations, and then continuing education is going to show you tuition assistance to get certifications. This is something new that a lot of people never had the ability to see, because they think you're going to go talk to a recruiter, you're going to get all these fancy words, you're going to get sold an idea. But what is an idea without fact? What is an idea without proof of what you're really able to do? This is about 5 pages of everything you get taught from a basic school. A high school student with a basic high school diploma can go to these schools, get taught structures, mechanics, and essential certifications, all of this stuff right here. And even then, let's see. Just want to see how many this one is. This one doesn't have it. Some of them have like high rising market, like have like a little chili pepper on it. It'll say high in demand job field. It shows you that the government is looking at these jobs and paying high top dollar for them. Occupations, like I said, civilian. Oh, bright outlook for this job. Registered apprenticeship. Salary base. It shows you everything you need to know about, like, what do I get out of my agreement to obligate my time to the military. This is what is important for young people to understand, is that the military has grown up. They've learned from their mistakes, I would like to say, as far as what's important to people. There's no longer this statute of limitations about how you have a retirement plan. Nowadays we have, how most companies have a 401k. The military has adopted what's called the TSP, the Thrift Savings Plan, where from day one at training, you're automatically enrolled to get invested into it. If for every $1 you put in, they match you 3. They cap out. So what I'm saying is, like, it can go for as far as you want, and you can control it. It's all in G funds, it's in bonds initially, but you can go in there and put into S&I funds, mutual funds, stock market trades. You can control every little bit of it. And then when you do get out, you can roll that into a company's 401k policy, or you can cash out. obviously you gotta pay taxes, but it's huge. It's totally different, from what people were growing up to be. The thing is, just like every other company out in America nowadays, the military has evolved as well. And if you don't give yourself the opportunity to explore what's really available for you, you're cutting off an opportunity where you could have really been successful and had the opportunity to set yourself up for success. The ability the military has trained people to have bearing, they have taught them how to stand their ground, analyze the situation, have a cool head about themselves, and then make a right decision. This is what you get from a military background. And then, it's a couple of things I wrote down here. I mean, trades, aviation, metalworking, welding, networking. I mean, these individuals work in your community. If you work in a reserve station, those are firefighters, policemen, union workers. I mean, UPS, FedEx, people from all over work in the same station as you. Reservists come from everywhere. You network right then and there in your own little hub, and then they all understand what you're trying to do. You bring it together. Sky's the limit, really.
Wow.
So, I mean, honestly, that's really what I have. I mean, I can go on for forever because I get excited about it. Because I talk like when I talk to my junior Marines about how don't waste your time, use every little bit of it. That's all these programs there, but that's the biggest thing. I thank you for letting me talk for a little bit. And I mean,
Oh, Sergeant, we thank you not only for your service to our country, but today your service to our young people. Education is key. And what you have provided us is a whole nother perspective of what our young people can be exposed to. Education opportunities. We know that there's so much college debt, but what I hear from you is there's assistance, college assistance to pay for your education. There's opportunity for career advancement. And on top of that, there's opportunities to have savings plans. $1 and they match you 3. That's amazing. Congresswoman, did you want to say anything, or should we just keep on trucking through this work here?
I just thanked him for his service.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Marine
Thank
Corps.
you. Thank you.
You're the best.
Wow. Well, Sergeant, again, thank you so much. You're such a wonderful gift to our nation. We're going to go right into our public sector, our local government, and we don't have our mayor on, Mayor Wade, but he supports our young people in education as well. But what we did have is Miss Weeks, Lashana Weeks from the City of Toledo, and she is going to be sharing with us all of the wonderful opportunities to our young people in our great city. Ms. Weeks?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm
Good.
Lashana Weeks. I work for the Toledo Division of Environmental Services. I'm a senior environmental specialist. I do have a presentation, so let me start sharing my screen here. Okay, so today I'm just going to talk a little about what I do in my role as a senior environmental specialist, and also some other opportunities with the City of Toledo that are outside of our division. So let's begin. So a little bit about the office I work in. Toledo Environmental Services is composed of 6 sections. We have our administrative, air resources, our central lab, a brownfield section, emergency response, and water resources. So within those 6 sections, the career opportunities that are available include environmental technicians, specialists, senior environmental specialists, chemists, program coordinators, program chiefs, engineers. We have a Brownsfield officer, administrative staff, and this year we have interns. So that's exciting. And let me jump back to that previous slide. Within our division, at minimum, there's a 2-year degree requirement. Some positions do require a 4-year degree, and others more advanced education degrees. So a little bit about what I do in my day-to-day. As a senior environmental specialist, I work in the stormwater management program. So we are tasked with keeping compliance with our municipal stormwater permit. It's the permit that allows us to have the storm sewers that drain water to bodies of the state. So in that role, I perform water quality sampling, respond to environmental emergencies, teach people to be good stewards of the environment through public outreach and education, and perform facility and construction site compliance inspections. Networking is also a huge part of my job, enforcing on environmental regulation, research, report writing, record keeping, and so much more. Stormwater management is such a broad field. Like there are so many different skill sets that go into that field. This is just kind of a synopsis for today of some of the things that you could do in that field of stormwater management. So outside of the Division of Environmental Services, it takes a lot of different skills, knowledge, personalities to provide the services that we do here at the City of Toledo. So other career opportunities include customer service, administrative assistants, heavy equipment operators, in-field construction, electricians, maintenance workers, plumbers, automotive service technicians, lifeguards, landscapers, and so much more. Like this, I could go on, like I would need multiple slides just to cover all of the services and all of the people who provide those services to the citizens of Toledo. But I just wanted to, I think it's important to note that being a public servant, you can use whatever gift you have, whatever skill you have, and it could be of service to someone else. And so there's different education and experience requirements of these different positions I listed here. Some are entry level. You can enter with a high school diploma or equivalent. You will, for some positions, you will obtain on the site job training. So we have like our field crews, they're able to get their CDL licensures through the city. And just there's just a lot.
Wow.
So I say that to say, if there is a career field that you may be interested in, but you don't know like what the requirements are of that career field, one good thing would be to check out the city's website. And I have that on our next slide here. Check out the city's website. They post parent openings, information about our internship program. It has closed for the year, but I'm pretty confident that we'll be doing it next year as well. And there are seasonal employee opportunities. Currently, they're looking for lifeguards and pool staff. So there are opportunities. And like I said, if there's something that you think you're interested in, but you just don't know what you would need to actually, apply for the job, you can, let's see if I can share another screen. They have job classifications that you can look at, and they'll show you what's the base salary and what are the skills that are needed. So this is something that I looked at when I applied for the position that I'm in now, just to see, like, is there any more training that I need to be able to even apply for this position? Like, just to have more of like a focused goal so I can get where I want to be, basically. And I'll leave my contact information in the chat, but I am going to try to share a different screen just so I can show you guys the class specs I was talking about, because I really like those. I like that resource. So just give me a moment. I'll figure this out. And that was the City of Toledo employment website. So can you guys see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to, and I'll just pick a random one. So yeah, so it gives you like the salary and then the description of what you would be doing, and then the qualifications and the knowledge that you need for that particular position. Okay.
Wow.
So I know listening to Congresswoman Capter's her intro, I giggled a little because I didn't know growing up like what I wanted to do. I knew I always liked to be outside. I knew I loved rocks, but I never knew that there was a job related to what I like to do. And so I was someone who was always in the library, and I came across a book one day on marine geology. So after I realized like there is a career field for something that I'm interested in, that's when I decided to apply for college to obtain my geology degree. And then I had an internship, which kind of was my introduction into water quality. So it wasn't a linear move at all. Like I graduated from college, I was a bank teller, I was a consultant, and now I'm doing something that I love. So it's just that it may not be linear, but if you keep pushing at it and doing something that you love and something that makes you feel good about being there every day, then that's really all you can ask for.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ms. Weeks. That's a testament to where our young people can go. You know, it's not always the up and down. Sometimes it goes back and forth. But getting to a point where you enjoy your work and your work enjoys you is exactly what you want. And you can see it written all over that you are doing something you love. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm super excited about our next speaker. And when you talk about entrepreneurship, many of our young people are wondering, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to own your own business, create your own revenue, create and do the things that's necessary? Well, we have several entrepreneurs on today. And I'm loving that, Mr. Hobbs, Ms. Sims, Mr. O.C. Irons, so many of you that are already in the process, Ms. Scott, doing the work of entrepreneurship. And our young people are wondering, well, what do I do when I don't find a field that's for me? And Amanda, you know, even with our young people at the court, we need to have something for them that they enjoy. And so we'll be hearing about this. This is a 4-part series, young people. So Megan's going to keep coming back at you with good information. But right now, we're going to bring to you Miss Delisha of Vibrant Vegan. And she's going to share with us her experience of entrepreneurship. Miss Delisha? You want to unmute, my love.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, so my name is Delisha Wright. I did have some slides. Kayla, are you able to put the slides up?
Yep, I can share for you right now.
Okay, awesome.
You're still muted, Delisha. We want to hear everything that you're saying.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So the name of my business is Vibrant Vegan, plant-based with taste. We sell vegan and organic foods by the means of catering. We do meal preparation. We've done pop-ups, and then we also done cooking classes. So if you can go to the next slide. Okay, so my name is Delisha. I'm the owner. Our mission is to provide plant-based soul food to make our customers feel vibrant and alive at an affordable price. This picture right here was taken at the main Toledo Library. I believe it was 2020. We did avocado mango tacos. Okay. So our story, well, my story rather. So in 2015, I lost my 1-year-old daughter, Ava Rose, to brain cancer. And shortly after, I learned that my great aunt Carol's cancer had came back for the 3rd time, in addition to learning that my cousin Greg had also had cancer too. So unsure of what I can say or do to comfort them, I began to pray. And from there, it was revealed to me that there is a direct correlation of the foods that we eat and our overall health. So this really inspired me to not only share the news with my Aunt Carol and my cousin Greg, but to also make changes myself. So at this time, I started to do meatless Mondays. And my love for eating healthier started to grow. And I soon noticed that Toledo did not have many healthy food options. They didn't have any vegan restaurants at all. I believe at the time they did have one vegetarian restaurant, but then that shortly closed down. So because I'm already good with cooking, I knew that I had to make a difference. So several years later, in 2019, we began doing vegan pop-ups at Hill's Kitchen. And from there, we transferred to Squawk's Kitchen. And we began adding cooking classes, catering, and meal preparation to our services. I've done all of this these last few years, all by being a mom. I'm also a nurse, and I'm also in school as well. Okay, so the services that we offer are catering. Once again, we do meal preparation, pop-ups, and cooking classes. So all of the food is vegan. That means that there is no meat or dairy, no animal products have been used. We also can do gluten-free meals and soy-free meals as well, but our main specialty is vegan food. Okay. So positions that we would have available would be as an independent contractor. We have positions as a cook. We have positions open for servers and for dishwashers. Okay, so as a cook, you would make delicious plant-based meals. I think that this is a great option for many people because a lot of people that are interested in veganism, they don't know where to start. So by becoming a cook with Vibrant Vegan, you get to learn awesome, great meals, meals that you would be able, or recipes rather, that you would be able to take home and tweak on your own, of course, but to be able to share with other people, because the more people that are eating this way, the better. And the reason why I say that is I really didn't go into the health aspect of it, but a lot of times, or rather, a lot of the diseases that we are going through or that people are suffering from, whether it's cancer, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, a lot of it has to do with the foods that we are putting in our bodies. Animal products, for instance, they have a lot of cholesterol in them, which leads to a lot of heart problems. Animal products also tend to sit in the colon or the intestine for weeks, if not months at a time. This allows for bacteria to build up in the system, and it causes dis-ease within the body. So that's a reason to not necessarily go completely vegan, but even just try it. And that's the purpose of Vibrant Vegan, is to provide that option for people that whether they are vegan, vegetarian, or they just want to eat healthy and have a meatless Monday. So as a server, you will greet customers and serve food. And as a dishwasher, it says as a dishwasher, you will help, okay, go back. You will help keep the kitchen area and utensils sanitized and organized. Okay, so that's it for that slide. Okay, so our hours. So right now we are not taking any orders, but we are preparing for our return in the late summer, early fall. So there's no experience needed. If you're interested in learning about delicious vegan and organic food, working with amazing people, and making a difference in the community, send us an email at vibrantvegan11@gmail.com. Okay, so here's just a few of our photos. This is our meal preparation. As you can see, we have a variety of meals. So we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for our meal preparation. Our goal is to do at least 3 days worth of food. I feel like after 3 days, then that can kind of, I tried to just do 3 days. I kind of figure so that way if it's in the refrigerator and maybe on the second day you decide not to eat it, it's still there on the third day, fourth day. But as the fifth day goes by, then I kind of don't think it's good for it to be in the refrigerator that long. So that's that for the meal preparation. And then the next slide is going to be, okay, so I did a video actually last week. I did a event at Yoga 6, and I met a lady by the name of Laura. So Laura sells Epicure products, and Epicure products, they're actually vegan. So that worked really well with me. And this video, Kayla, can we play the video?
We have about a minute left. And so
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure if the video will play on here, but it is on our Facebook and our Instagram pages. Okay, and then here's just some more of our photos. This is a vegan Western burger. Bacon was made from scratch. Sweet potato fries. All of our meat substitutes are made from scratch, so we don't use any of the Beyond Meat or anything like that. We use a lot of lentils. We use ground walnuts, flaxseed. So these are our vegan nachos. This is a photo of catered lunches that we did this summer for a group of children. They enjoyed the food, even though it was vegan. So that's huge when children like it. Okay, and then here's just another video of a pop-up that we did. This was a lasagna. So this was vegan lasagna, and this was actually made with red lentils and ground walnuts. And the cheese was also made from scratch as well, using cashews and tapioca starch. Okay, so to get in touch with Vibrant Vegan, so we're on social media. Here are our social media. This is the information for that. And then here's our email, vibrantvegan11@gmail.com. And then there's our phone number. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, Delisha. Junction needs to eat vegan. So we're going to have you cater one of our events, maybe our board
Absolutely.
or something. Yes. And even to our young people, exposing them to a healthier way of eating.
Absolutely.
I love the fact that you say, you don't have to walk completely away from meat, but you can definitely do, a meatless Monday. But more importantly, as we're talking about jobs, opportunities, and youth, you took what you love, you took your family health, and you coupled that into a career, an opportunity for revenue building, and you're building your wealth. And that is so commendable. So thank you so much. It is wonderful to have you with us. And I'm just super excited. We did have some folks sign off, and that's perfectly okay, because this is going to be a YouTube, young people. You're going to be able to access Miss Delisha, Miss Weeks, Miss Tisha, Miss Michelle, Sergeant Garcia, Congresswoman Capter, and all of these amazing folks who have, Miss Kendra over at Metro Parks, who have spoke to us today. Every single day via YouTube. You'll be able to go to the Junction website, which we'll put into the link into the chat here, and you'll be able to find where this information is. How do I get in touch with these individuals? And what do I need to do to advance my life, to get me where I want to be in our great city of Toledo? I'm so very, very thankful for all of our partners who are on next week. I know, I don't know, Megan, if you want to just kind of give a sneak peek into what's going to be happening on next week, who's going to be on next week. Please, please, please tell all the young people. I've got young people texting me like, oh my God, this is so cool. And are they really going to pay $16? And the answer is yes. If they say it, hold them to it. They're going to pay you $16 an hour. They're going to give you opportunities, as Ms. Weeks said, at the City of Toledo to be employed. And those numbers are livable wages. When you're talking about $38,000, those are livable wages. And so when you're talking about entrepreneurship, and I know Ms. Delisha didn't go into it, but being able to manage your own income, being able to, but you did hear her say, we took a little break, we're coming back in the summer. So you get to decide when you're going to be on and off. That's also a wonderful benefit of being an entrepreneur. And when you are looking at goodwill, good rides and having some transportation opportunities to get to these jobs. Reach out to our partners, ask the questions, and get the help that you need. I know that we're going to be having some technology conversations. I know that we're going to be having some folks on from the trades and those things. Miss Megan, are you still with us? I know that you're busy probably running around the building and getting things all lined up.
No,
But
I'm here. I won't say too much about next week. I want everyone to be surprised, but I will mention that we're going to be partnering with Miss Alexia Sims next week, who has a podcast, daycare. She's actually on the call right now. So that's something exciting. That's a sneak peek that I'll give everybody, but I won't say too much. I want everybody to be excited and not get too much information too soon.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for our young people. I'm excited for our community. I'm excited for our city. Thank you so much, Ms. Megan, for all of the work that you and the women of Alternative Solutions have put together in this work. And also those that have been working behind the scenes from Junction Coalition. Thank you so very much. It is our job to do what we do together. And today you have made this a success for all of us. So thank you to our partners. And Ms. Megan, I'll leave it to you to close out.
Just want to say thank you to everybody who joined us, all of our partners, all the attendees. Please look forward to receiving another link from us for our next seminar webinar on March 31st. We're going to have different partners. We are going to have some partners return. Just look forward to seeing that link, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.